Okay, these are hot names, and some of these guys are hurt. We just talked about Brock Purdy, 72% completion rate, 9 touchdowns, no interceptions. Nobody is putting it together like Brock Purdy is. Nobody's talking about Jim Garoppolo with the Raiders because the Raiders are up, the Raiders are down. Garoppolo is 42-19 as a starter in the NFL. I mean, it just continues to do well. This year, he's got 7 TDs. He's got 7 TDs, 7 interceptions, and he's got 1 fumble. But he is 42-19. This is a mess in New England with Mac Jones. You know, Bill Belichick, his season's unraveling. His quarterback, for some reason, is just not dialed into what they're doing with the new coordinator, Bill O'Brien. No offensive touchdowns in the last 42 possessions for the New England Patriots. That's not funny. Come on now. He's got his quarterback rating is 74. Is right.
Brutal.
5 touchdowns, 8 turnovers, 9 sacks, only 32% conversion on third downs for New England's quarterback. And yet Belichick gives him a vote of confidence for the 3rd straight week. Young guy, Washington, kid came out of North Carolina. They've kind of forced him on the field, Sam Howell. He played okay right at the tail end of a lost season last year, but he's getting battered this year. 29 sacks he's already taken in just 5 games this season. One of the high draft picks, Anthony Richardson. We talked about his dynamics, his athleticism at Florida. He's gone 8 weeks. They don't know whether he needs shoulder surgery, but he got flattened. He's got a shoulder joint injury. He's going to miss virtually the entire middle part of the NFL season. He's had 3 injuries in a 6-week span since the start of the NFL season. And as we've talked about, you might run the football. You might look pretty impressive. You're probably going to get hurt. This kind of scares me because this is kind of like Robert Griffin III when he was with the Redskins, and Mike Shanahan played him and let him run all over the field and got battered, and his career was decimated, and he played 2.5 years, and that was it. So Anthony Richardson's hurt. Nobody's talking about this guy down in Houston, C.J. Stroud. He's completing 61% of his passes. Raw rookie, bad team. 7 touchdowns, no picks.
Wow.
No picks for C.J. Stroud.
Nice.
He's got a quarterback rating of 98.
That's
which
very
is
good.
Yeah, it's very impressive. And Bryce Young, he's struggling. Winless Carolina, 5 touchdowns. He's got 7 turnovers. He's taken 12 sacks. This is kind of culture shock for him, John. 77 quarterback rating for the kid who knew nothing except winning when he was at Alabama. So that's a quick look-see as we kind of get to the middle of the schedule about the quarterbacks.
Yeah, isn't it interesting though how the NFL draft is so unpredictable? You know, I mean, here you see the best quarterback in the league was Mr. Irrelevant, taken at the end of the seventh round, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then you got your number 1 pick, Bryce Young. He's struggling, and then everyone was saying, well, C.J. Stroud, sure, he's an athletic guy from Ohio State, but they were concerned about his football IQ, and now look at him, no interceptions. And then, I mean, we can go down the list of other top choices of quarterbacks in the first round going back 10, 20 years, like Ryan Leaf, that self-destruct. It's just funny how every once in a while there's some of those late round picks like Tom Brady, like Brock Purdy, that just really work.
It's a long, long season, and, the history is bad teams, top of the draft board, take quarterbacks. Then those quarterbacks go through a tough learning curve, and some do well. Bunch of them really struggle, and then the odd occasion a guy gets hurt. So I hope the Anthony Richardson situation settles itself and he can get back on the field. But I think he's going to have to change the way he plays in Indianapolis. Mm-hmm. On we go from